Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everybody. My name is Jürgen Steinmetz, and I'm joining you from World Tourism Network, together with eTobo News, the Travel News Group, Hawaii News Online, Livestream, and everyone else who's watching us right now. And we're introducing a new tourism hero. He's not really new to the industry, but he's our tourism hero from Australia now. His name is Paul Rogers. He runs Planet Happiness, and we have called him the Happy Man before. He's also a member of the World Tourism Network, and we had him as a guest. We actually had a presentation about his project, and we're very pleased to that Paul was nominated to enter our Hall of Tourism Heroes, and he will participate in our Hero of the Year award later on this year. And he has an amazing concept to get destinations happy and happier and make tourism measurement produce different type of reports that might be a lot more useful what we can find on the market today. Paul, congratulations.
Thanks very much, Jürgen. Great. It's lovely to be here with you today, and it's an honor to have been nominated to join this group of people.
No, we're really happy to have you. Now, for those that don't know Planet Happiness, what is Planet Happiness?
So Planet Happiness is a project of the Happiness Alliance, a not-for-profit registered in the US. The project itself is a tourism and big data project that aims to repurpose tourism at the destination level to ensure that tourism strengthens the well-being of the host community. I can explain a bit more, but that's a short answer for me.
And you have, I mean, there are some countries, like, for instance, your relationship with Bhutan is quite amazing because they changed their concept completely, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. So over the last 20 years or more, I've been very privileged to work in a number of countries around the world, mostly in South and Southeast Asia. And I've done a number of assignments in Bhutan. The first one goes back to 2002. And for anybody who goes to Bhutan, you know, it's unavoidable to learn about GNH, gross national happiness. And so this coining of this phrase goes back to their previous king when he was a young man being taught about development, and he was taught about measuring development and the concept of gross national product. As it was then, GNP. Over the years, other organizations, including OECD, Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, they've adopted the term gross domestic product to measure the development, the progress of each country around the world. And this is purely a measure of economics. And we all know that money is great for improving our lifestyles, the way we live, but it's not everything. And here we are today in 2021 with a climate emergency, with an extinction emergency. And so the concept of well-being and happiness and quality of life is a much more rounded approach to measuring development. So when we look at what tourism has done in destinations prior to the pandemic, bringing a huge amount of income and employment to communities, we also need to recognize that it has brought overcrowding to some destinations. And the only way you can solve overcrowding issues is by engaging local communities. And forgive me for talking a bit too much here, but when we look at preparing a destination management plan, it's intended to be inclusive, as UNWTO's recent ALULA framework points to, for example. But whenever we prepare a destination plan, of the different stakeholders we engage, it is primarily government departments and the tourism industry through the private sector associations. And Planet Happiness seeks to redress that approach by being much more inclusive with local communities and focusing the way tourism should develop on strengthening the well-being of host communities.
And that makes a lot of sense. So if you look at your measurements right now, what are the happiest countries according to your list?
Well, according to my list, there are a couple of different initiatives that measure the happiness of countries, and probably the most important of those is the World Happiness Report that's put out annually by the UN, and the ranking of those countries generally tends to focus on Scandinavian countries. Finland has regularly come out as the happiest country in the world. The World Happiness Report uses a mixture of objective and subjective indicators, but I think it's fair to say there is a focus on the objective indicators, the number of hospitals per head of the population, or doctors, for example, whereas our approach focuses on subjective well-being, individual responses to how people see their quality of life across 11 domains. And so what our approach is about engaging people at the grassroots level to engage with this happiness well-being agenda and get traction for policies that are coming through from above to promote a better quality of life for citizens. And there are, New Zealand is heavily into this, besides Bhutan, the UAE, Iceland, and all European countries are engaged in some form of happiness measurement and policy making. So this is an expanding agenda, and Planet Happiness is about engaging the tourism sector in advancing this well-being agenda, which I think is a very enlightened approach to development.
Yeah, and Paul, and listening to you, I can really hear the passion. I don't think you do this because it's a job, right? You do this because you love what you're doing.
It's about doing the right thing, right? I loved watching that Spike Lee film, what was it, 20 or 30 years ago, the first time I came to Australia, actually. Spike Lee's film, Do the Right Thing. That film resonated with me because I used to be a policeman. That was the first job I had coming out of my education, and it was quite an emotional film. But this slogan, "Do the right thing," is what drives me in the way I work and what I do with work. And Planet Happiness is about doing the right thing.
No, that's wonderful. And you're in Australia. What part of Australia are you in?
I live in a small village called Lennox Head. It's about 2 hours south of Brisbane. We're south of the Gold Coast. We live very close to the iconic Byron Bay, the most easterly point of Australia. And yeah, just a small village here, which is a great place to be at the moment with the pandemic. I've been living in Australia for 12 years, and most of the time that I've been living here, I've been out of the country working on assignments throughout South and Southeast Asia, occasionally Africa, but since the pandemic, I've been here since a year last March, and it's a great place to be stuck while we're enduring the pandemic on this wonderful large island.
How far are you from Whitsunday Island?
They're further north. I've never been up there. Well, I've been to Cairns, but the Whitsundays, I think you access from Cairns, and that's about a 2-hour flight north from here.
I remember. Yeah, no, I went to Whitsunday Islands, and I know I changed planes in Brisbane, and it was beautiful. I went on a sailing safari, and I had a great time. It was, talking about remote, it was remote, but it was wonderful.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, it'd be just fantastic. Yeah.
No, Paul, thank you so much, and congratulations again. And for those that wanted to get more information on what you're doing, of course, you can go to the WTN.travel website, look up Paul Rogers for Planet Happiness under Australia, or we also have a link to your website directly. Or what's your website directly, Paul?
Well, if anybody just Googles Planet Happiness, they'll find us. We actually selected a URL which says Our Heritage, ourhappiness.org. So Yeah, it's all about where we come from, learning lessons from where we come from, and celebrating our heritage moving forward, both natural heritage and cultural heritage. That's what we've got to look after and treasure.
Yeah, no, we're looking forward to learning more, and we're very pleased to have you join our Heroes Club. It's getting bigger and bigger, but we're only 20-some, so it's still a very exclusive group of people. Now you're part of it, and it's part of the World Tourism Network. Anyone who wanted to nominate a hero, you can do this. Just go to heroes.travel. You also find Paul's profile here in the link. So heroes.travel, and you can nominate. There's never a charge. We don't charge to nominate anyone. You can nominate yourself, but you need at least one other person who endorses this. And then we look through your application and see what you did and see if we can welcome you to become a hero like Paul is. And as I said, we don't charge for this. We're not going to ask for promotional money. It's free. It's just meant to really recognize what you're doing or what a person is doing, because there's so many people, especially now, in times of COVID and of crisis, that go the extra step and doing something what is so unusual. And with Zoom and social media and so forth, it is so easy to get this information to everyone in the world. Well, Paul, thank you very much. And also one more thing I wanted to add, we're just about to add an interest group to the World Tourism Network. Paul will be leading under Planet Happiness. So those that are members, you can stay tuned. And if you're not a member of the World Tourism Network yet, just go to WTN.travel, sign up, and we'll be happy to welcome you as a member. We have members now in 128 countries. So you'll be joining a good group of people. All of our members, I think, are passionate. Otherwise, they wouldn't join us. Well, Paul, thank you so much. And I give you the last word, and then we can say aloha from here, or goodbye, or wherever you are.
Yeah, great. Thanks very much again, Jürgen. The group that you just alluded to, yeah, we'll set up a group on the World Tourism Network. We'll call it Destination Wellbeing. We don't want to make it exclusive sort of Planet Happiness dialogue. We want to talk about anything in that group that relates to facilitating, enabling destination wellbeing. So we look forward to people joining the group and contributing to the discussion and carrying this agenda forward. Just very briefly, I'd like to mention that a couple of months ago we convened a high-level dialogue with leaders of the industry to look at this well-being agenda and the imperative for travel and tourism to recognize and value the contribution of tourism to destination well-being. I encourage anyone listening to look through the papers that we put together for that agenda, and look forward to carrying the conversation forward with interested parties moving forward. Thanks again, Jürgen.
No, thanks, Paul. And if there's any papers you wanted to share with other members, you can now upload it once we have this group established, and so everyone else can see it. Well, you enjoy your rest of the morning in Australia. I will enjoy my afternoon in Hawaii, and we talk to you soon. Take care.
Great. Thanks very much, Jürgen.
Thank you.